guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be showing you how I do my brows recently. I know I've been telling you that I've been using soap brows and I haven't really showed them because I felt like I needed a dedicated video. I always like to skip over my brows when I film a tutorial because sometimes I just like to take my time, you know? So that's what today's video is going to be, a soap brow tutorial. Plus, I feel like I do my soap brows a little bit different than anybody else that I've seen at least. So if you're interested on how I get my brows like this, then keep on watching and I'll walk you step by step through it. It's really easy, so just keep on watching and let's do it. Okay, so this is the soap that I use. This is the L'Occitane Savon Extra Doux. I don't know how to speak French. You can actually just find this like literally if you just walk into the L'Occitane store. They're all over the place or on the website, and I'll link it down below. But you don't even need this soap because you can use any soap that's clear and glycerin based. So you don't even have to worry about this, but I, in my experience, think that this is the best soap for soap brows. It is literally like glue. So this is the soap that I use. You can see, there's literally like a well built into this now. Before I start, I pour a little bit of water in and I get really annoyed. I get way too annoyed when the water runs underneath the soap because then it like sticks to my table and it gets really nasty. So I just try to keep it in this little tiny hole because you don't need a lot of water at all. In fact, I'm just going to pour the tiniest little bit into this cap with my precision work and then pour it into the well. Like, you don't even need that much. Can you see how much water that is? Like, that's too much. So next thing you need is a spoolie. I'm sure you guys have one of these laying around. Like, I feel like they always come in like makeup kits or like sets. If not, you can take an old mascara, rinse it off the applicator and just keep it, and then you'll have that. But I'm gonna use this one today. Pretty standard, like literally doesn't matter, but it is the LaRousse LR133 Lash and Brow. Like, it doesn't matter, okay? As you can see, my brows are pretty limp. Like, also, I don't have any makeup on my forehead. I just, like, being completely ridiculous, did the rest of my makeup so that I had some makeup on for this video, but I have no makeup from here up because you definitely don't want to do this with makeup on. Like, I'm telling you, it just gets kind of gross. And plus, it's soap. It takes off your makeup. As you can see, my brows are pretty limp, and the goal is to have them more lifted and feathery looking. So what you're gonna do is take your spoolie and roll it around in your little concoction, soap water concoction. And you don't need a lot on the spoolie, like really at all. So this is what it looks like. For some reason, I always wind up putting way too much water in there, but you don't need a lot of water, and then you can just start running it through your brows like so. And as you can see, there is literally like an excess in there. I don't need all of that. And I'm gonna wind up wiping it off anyways. So I just put a lot in there. Also, that works too. I have really stubborn brows, so I wind up putting a lot more soap than I probably even need. So I just keep brushing it through and brushing it through until I feel like it's really stable. As you can see, like there's water right there, not a big deal, especially because most of the time I wouldn't have any makeup on, so it wouldn't be scaring me. Yeah, just keep going through until you feel like you have your brows where you want them. So I'll probably just leave them like that and let that sit there for a couple minutes while I do the other brow. So same thing, just as you can see, like it kind of builds up in there. That's okay, it doesn't really matter. So I just put more in the other brow and brush it up. This is my better brow, like for sure. Another handy thing to have is like, I don't know, like a tissue or a paper towel or a little bit of toilet paper, whatever you have that you can just wipe your hands on, or just like the water. Next thing you're gonna do once they've kind of set for a couple minutes is just take your finger and run it through and get the excess out and then wipe it onto the paper towel. As you can see, there's still extra kind of hanging around there, but it's not a big deal because what you're gonna do is take a little piece of paper towel and just brush up in the stroke that you want it to stay. And it's kind of like gluing down the soap. Okay, so I took a break because I had a really bad tickle in my throat, but in that time, I just kind of continued to just make sure that they're in place. Sometimes, like in this step, like I'll change my shirt or something, and the shirt will move them down, but just make sure they're there and they feel pretty they feel like they're down. So now it's time to actually fill them in. This is the part that's really tedious, and if you don't want to do this part, I totally understand. But even though it takes a really long time, like I've just been liking it so much that it's been worth it for me. So, you know, it's up to you. You can comment and tell me that it's too much. I understand someone's gonna do that anyways. But what I do is I take the Wander Beauty, what is this actually called? The Frame Your Face Precise Brow Gel right here. And so the wand looks like this. This is actually in the shade dark brown. So I don't actually go like that because it's not precise enough for that. I actually take this brush right here. So as you can see, this brush is really, really tiny. Like it's really small. This is actually part of the Roxetta Risa collection from Sigma, and it's supposed to be an eyeliner brush, but I use it for my brows because it's so precise and so tiny. I take the brush, and then in the little divots, there's product in there. So I just literally go like that and see how there's like the tiniest bit of product on the brush. That's what we're working with. So I take it, and like I said, there's a little bit on the brush, and I literally draw in individual lines, and I make sure that the lines are going in the natural way that the brow hairs would go anyway. So let me just show you an example. So in between literally every single stroke, I take more from the little spoolie here. So I literally just put it right below my mirror and keep going back in. So just so you guys know, I'm not gonna show it every single time. I'm just gonna go back in. So grabbing some more product, I'm gonna just continue with this line and do the whole thing. Do you see how like originally like it kind of deposits kind of weird, but then if I go over it, it's not adding more product, it's actually just moving the product that's already there, which is good. Like that way it's really hard to overdo it, because unless you put too much on the brush, but even if you put too much on the brush, you can just go over it again and then it picks it up. But okay, so this whole part right here, I don't have any like growth there, but that's what I like about this. You can fool it, so I'm just gonna go there anyway. So at this point, I'm literally just going to speed the rest up until we get to the front, because you'll see what I'm doing. I feel like it doesn't need an explanation if you just see it. So I'm just gonna put this in speed mode. This section right here, you're gonna wanna, well, at least for my brows, I don't like to just do the same type of stroke because I feel like it winds up kind of looking weird or just like too fake. So I like to kind of just like take some smaller strokes where some start in the middle, some start at the end, and they're just a little bit more like erratic compared to these ones that are super straight. So I can't talk while I do this, but you'll see what I mean. Okay, so this brow is pretty much complete. I'm just going to do this one now. So I'm just gonna speed this one up again because it's just gonna, trust me, you'd rather it be sped up. that is the completed brow. I actually kind of like the way this one turned out today better than this one, where normally I like this one better than this one. But I don't know. Sometimes you just never know. But so this is pretty much what it winds up looking like. It almost kind of looks like your brow has been microbladed because there's so many just little strokes in there. And also my brows are so much fuller now, and I just really like the way that they look. Now, if you want, you could carve them out with some concealer, but I just find that step to be annoying. So I don't do that. At this point, like, that's it. You don't need to set them with gel because they are literally, they are down. Like, they are laid down and they will not fall. So this is like the best way, I think, to have really, really, really long lasting brows that are just, they're not gonna fail you because they're glued to your head. So that's how I like them. And yeah, so I hope this tutorial helped. I feel like it was so boring. Like, I just did that, but I felt like it was really requested to show how I do my soap brows, and that's how I do it. So I hope you guys learned something new. Let me know how you do your brows. Let me know what products you use, especially if you do soap brows, because I feel like the way that I do it is kind of unique. I feel like I haven't seen anyone do anything like this before. So let me know what you think. Let me know if this helped you out, and also let me know what you want to see in my next video, and I will, oh, and subscribe, please. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.